So let's go through this because so Path A, we have on one side of the draw, Scotland and Ukraine. On the other side, we have Wales and Austria. The winner of the Wales-Austria game will be hosting the final. Let's start with them then. Wales and Austria. Look, my first instinct is Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey never play for their club team, so yeah, they'll be pretty well rested when this comes around, right?
They will be rested, and they will obviously play at home that game because they were seeded. So you could think that either in the Cardiff Stadium or maybe even the Millennium, if they can have 70,000 people there, close the roof, incredible atmosphere. And this is, I think, on paper, certainly it's a good Austrian team. We saw them at the Euros. They were not great in the group stage, but then caused a lot of problems for Italy in the last 16. So nothing to take for granted, but certainly I think Wales can at home can beat them, and approach to, if Scotland do the same, could be the Battle of Britain for a place in the World Cup. How cool would that be?
I've got Austria as slight favorites, but very, very slight. The other half of the draw, as we said, Scotland and Ukraine. Both these teams, of course, also were at the Euros. I think Scotland has surprised a number of people. Yeah. On paper, Scotland at home, Hampden again, really big home field advantage effect. Is that going to be enough?
I think it could be. I mean, the way they played against Denmark, and I know Denmark had nothing to play for. They were already top of their group in the last game of the qualifier group stage. They were great, I thought, with the ball. The problem is they don't have a number 9 that is a very clinical striker. But I think on set pieces, with all the fans behind them, with that sort of the sort of new mentality that Steve Clarke has brought since taking over, I think they have a chance. I'm not impressed by Ukraine. I was not when they played against France, even if they got a draw in Paris. They've lost Shevchenko as their head coach, which I think is a big blow. So I would go like, yeah, Scotland, go for it and meet Wales in the final.
That would be something. I mean, I got to say, out of these 4, for me, the best team on paper is Austria. However, we're talking 4 months from now. So much can happen. And this, of course, applies to everybody. In Path B, we have what they're calling Path B. We have on one side, Russia against Poland. No love lost there. This one's going to be really, really feisty. And the winner of that one will get to play at home against the winner of Sweden against Czech Republic. Let's start with Russia and Poland, because here we have on both sides of the draw, what we've got, obviously, Ibrahimovic of Sweden. Robert Lewandowski, question is he going to make it to the World Cup, to a major tournament? I'm leaning Poland. I just wonder, Russia away in March. If you're Russia, imagine if you play this game in Novosibirsk or something like that. I don't know. I'm just looking at the permutations, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, the home advantage could be huge here, but Karpin is in charge now. We saw them against Croatia, sort of bottling it, if you want. Well, not bottling it, but it was a tough away game for sure, the last one, but they had the destiny in their own hands before going to Croatia. They lost that game, which is the reason why they're in this playoff. I don't know. There's no Zubia. It's still a very hit and miss national team. Let's be honest here, capable of really good things. You say there's no Zuba, but 4 months from now, maybe they can still kiss and make up, and the big man can return. My question is, are they actually better with Artem Zuba? Yeah. They're certainly better with him, and him putting out with Karpin was not the right thing. But with all the tensions politically as well, I think even in 4 months' time, I think there can be so much tension in the air, a bit stressed, a bit of confrontation, fans as well. You can just imagine the kind of atmosphere that will be there. But I'm with you. I think Poland should see this one out. And Paulo Sousa, our friend, we love dearly, I think the work in progress is quite positive for Poland, even if the Euros was not as maybe successful as they would have liked to.
Yeah, I think to some degree, Paulo, depending how this ends up, I think Paulo may be playing for his job, frankly, in this game. The other semifinal, Sweden against the Czech Republic. Let's try to move on. Obviously, the story is going to be like, can Zlatan go to the World Cup? Okay, fine. It's not just Zlatan, though. Sweden were doing pretty well before he came back, before his injury. You're talking Forsberg, you're talking Isak.
Yeah.
I think they're going to look back in that game against Spain and all the wasted opportunities they have. And I think the Swedes are going to be pretty happy when I say this with the greatest of respect for the Czech Republic. You know how much I love Thomas Suchek. They'd be like, yeah, we kind of like this matchup, frankly.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Czech Republic is very doable on paper if you're Sweden. If you're the Sweden that beat Spain, you are. If there's the Sweden that went away to Georgia, for example, was quite wasteful in terms of the chances that they created and then defended so poorly on set pieces, not on set pieces. Victor Lindelof, eyes best, which is quite low. Then I think you don't know what you're going to get, but you think that for that game, if psychologically they haven't been hurt too much by not qualifying directly to the World Cup and having all those missed opportunity, the defeat in Greece, the defeat in Georgia, even before the game against Spain, I think they should really see out this game and beat the Czechs.
So the question is, who are we picking to get out of this pathway? Because
Lewandowski against Ibra, who is your money?
That would be
that would be cool.
Thing. So for me, on paper, I would say Poland are probably the most talented. Poland or Sweden are the two most talented teams out of these four. The reality is, Poland away to Russia, they could easily get knocked out there. It's not unfathomable. Mm-hmm. And if they go out, and if it's Russia-Sweden in Russia, I'm not sure. I might lean towards Russia, no?
I don't know.
That's really what makes this so interesting. It's so tough.
It's great. And as we said, this format is fantastic because we all going to be like glued to the TV. One game, it could all be on penalties, could be decided on literally a flip of a coin. It's going to be great. I still think Sweden will do it. I think in that path, I will go for Sweden.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.